Hi, I'm Empress Rose. Welcome to our collective reading for the week. As I was preparing this reading, a song strongly came to me. I was not expecting it. It's by Modern English, and it's I'll stop the world and melt with you. At least that's the main lyric. That's the main lyric that was coming in. So I'm not sure if we're getting a love reading today or what. But the rest of the lyrics of the song are really interesting, and I grabbed a few. The one that caught my attention and made me like, wait a minute, what's coming in here was I'll stop the world and melt with you. But we've also got like, you've seen the difference. It's getting better all the time. And a pilgrimage to save this human race. So anyway, it could also be, so it's Aquarius season, right? Yeah, it's a very Aquarius song, actually. Very altruistic. Yeah, anyway, so those were the lyrics that really were strongly wanting to be talked about here today. So I'm using a deck I don't usually use. It's called Botanical Inspirations. And it's, you know, we're just getting some oracle cards at the beginning here. This is beautiful. Okay, got some good cards here. So first we have Tulip, Friendship and Gratitude. Apparently this is going to be another quotes reading. Let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. Marcel Proust. So looking at friendship and gratitude. So maybe not necessarily a love reading, but a friendship love reading. We also have Snapdragon. We have several chakras present here, actually. We have a little rainbow going on. And Snapdragon really caused me to, we've got a root chakra, we've got sacral chakra, we've got, either, I think this could go either, this one or this one. I can't remember the names right now. So anyway, and then we've also got throat chakra. So a snapdragon, graciousness and benevolence, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. So kindness among friends, gratitude, graciousness, benevolence. And so the theory behind these botanical inspirations is at some point, like in the Victorian era, you could give someone a bouquet of flowers and each flower would have sort of a meaning. So you could write a whole sentence or a whole paragraph in flowers for someone. So gloxinia, so these are the meanings that they attributed at that time in certain Western cultures to these flowers. Gloxinia, love at first sight and proud spirit. When I saw you, I fell in love and you smiled because you knew. So Shakespeare. So maybe we are doing a love reading after all. But there's a butterfly here, so there could be some transformation going on here of a friendship or a relationship. And then we have Sacred Lotus. Oh, well, yeah. Hello, chakras. Enlightenment, no mud, no lotus. So I guess this would be the crown chakra too. But no mud, no lotus, Thich Nhat Hanh. We talk about that a lot here though. Like the sunshine or the rainbow after the storm, no mud, no lotus. We can use that mud and we can grow. Growing from, there is sort of a transformation because we've got the butterfly here. So no mud, no lotus. I also want to say like we've got no caterpillar, no butterfly, no goo in the cocoon, no butterfly, right? No cocoon, no butterfly. And I think this is reminding me a bit of the death card transformation and the death card transformation and you know, for the caterpillar, the cocoon is a grave, but for the butterfly, the cocoon is a womb that it emerges from. So that sort of thing with this sacred lotus and the gloxinia, love at first sight and proud spirit. So something going through something difficult, but coming out having learned a lot and grown a lot. And so this could be like repairs, or not necessarily repairs to a friendship, but repairs surrounding a friendship. That might just be you. But there's like a healing growth energy here and a transformation. But it does have to do with relationships. So this looks like a little bit of a relationship reading. Well, and with that song, I'll stop the world and dance and melt with you. Maybe dance with you too. I don't know. So, okay, let's go to the reading. So from the bottom of the deck overall for the reading, we have the Moon card. We have Coyote out here. Coyote, a wild animal, but has made some adaptations to the city that rises up around the coyote. It's really interesting how this artist take on the Moon card, because the moon is normally like illusion versus delusion versus intuition, and how to tell the difference. And I think it's going to be different for each person, how you tell the difference between, you know, what's an intuitive thing and what's an illusion. I think illusions and delusions often come with a sense of like fear and panic. And if that's part of it, then it might not be intuition. Like, really question it if you're getting afraid or working yourself up, or looping on something that's a terrifying possibility. So the Moon card, what can be known, what cannot be known. But with this artist and this deck that I selected, as part of the preparation process, we have someone whose environment has changed, and they've adapted to the changes. They are still there's a sense of the wild animal within the cityscape, like, which is what we all are, these sort of wild animals trapped within civilization. And so that wild part and that tame part. And it's that wild part that can really guide you, because the tame part only looks like, there's like a grid here, but tapping into your intuition is actually your greatest survival skill, even though the grid itself is going to talk to you about routines. And I think this is one of my struggles with having a YouTube channel, is that I'm not a very grid-like person, and yet this YouTube requires some sort of adherence or something to the algorithm. I'm not an algorithm person. I move more like a sailboat rather than like a tractor. And so the algorithm likes a tractor, predictable or something. And well, that's what they say anyway. I'll move how I want to move. Anyway, so that's a little bit of this, is like move how the spirit moves you, despite the matrix and the civilization around you requiring you to be some machine level consistent, right? We created these machines, but the machines require consistency, and that's not necessarily a human trait. So, was it Walt Whitman? Consistency is a hobgoblin of little minds. I mean, I don't know if we necessarily need to insult minds that need consistency, but anyway, there's some sort of matrix. Follow your intuition. Even though the matrix itself tells you not to follow your intuition, that's actually your key to survival within the matrix, or within the civilization, or within the man-made cityscape, or the man-made world. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. It's been a while since I worked with this deck, so I'm like, wait, what is that one? What is that one? Okay. Well, so far it flows really nicely. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we've got intuition showing up here. Ah, okay, I see. Three of Wands here. So we've got several Wands cards, which jives nicely with this Moon card. Three of Wands, a lot of faith in the future, heading towards the future, right? They're nest building, because they know they're going to need a nest. Even though they currently don't need the nest, they know that someday they will need the nest, so they are nest building. There's a lot of hope, a lot of anticipation, a lot of like planning and preparing for a future that they know is going to happen. It's not like, it is hope and it is faith, but it's so strong that it feels like knowledge, or it looks like knowledge. And we have the moon really present here in this. This is such a beautiful card. We have the moon very present here. Intuition, full faith. And it's leading me to want to talk about prayer a little bit, and how, you know, I learned to pray as a child. Was the adults around me, oh, please, 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 God. There's no faith in the prayer, and that bothers me. Like, it's, you know, there has to be some faith there. Why are you praying? If you don't believe that you're being heard, or if you believe that this person has to be begged, or this being or the universe or whatever has to be begged, and you don't really believe that they're gonna like follow through, so you have to beg every day for extended periods of time, because you have an idea that you're not being heard, and that at the base of that is a sense of like, it's like nagging the universe, and it's like you don't believe that they'll follow through. So praying with a lot of faith and moving through with some sort of confidence and some sort of faith with this. So yeah, they're building a nest for eggs that they don't have yet, but build they will. And then we have, so you've built this nest, you've been working on building this nest, 7 of Pentacles. This, now we're waiting. So we can see these webs in a way as nests, and they look a little nesty. They're the spider's like nest, basically. So we have these creations, these things that we've created, and we're waiting now for the opportunities to come in. That's this, yeah, spider. I think I've already talked a lot about like how I connect with spiders. They are sort of the artists, and they create. They do what they know to do. They follow their intuition, creating these nests. All of these animals really are. And that's where we start here, is that animal self working within the matrix, or working within the man-made world, and tapping into that animal self. Of course, this is like an animal-based deck, but that's the message is really coming through here. This instinctive preparation, this nesting in a way, and then now we're waiting. The nests have been made, and now we're waiting for the flies to get trapped. We're waiting for the meal. We're waiting for the abundance to come. We've done a lot of work already with a lot of faith. And the 7 of Pentacles to me also talks about a little bit of a wavering faith of like, well, do I continue or do I stop? Do I abandon these webs, which is where we get cobwebs from? So clearly there is a place in nature for abandoning your creation and your web, right? So do we abandon these webs, or are they going to be a source of abundance at some point? So there's a question mark here of like, well, so in the past there was this full faith, building a nest for eggs. I don't know, I haven't seen them yet, but I'm building this nest for these eggs. Now there's this waiting period, and it's like, well, we've been waiting a while. Are these eggs coming? Are these, we've built these webs, are these little critters coming? Are we going to catch anything with we've cast our net, are we catching fish? We have a fish right here. But we've cast these nets, these web nets, and we're fishing basically, and we haven't caught anything yet. But we went out early in the morning fishing, in full faith, tackle box, gear, everything. We got in the boat, we went out, we got up super early. It was really cold. And now we're out on this foggy lake, and we don't know. And we've been sitting here for a while with no bites. That's what this looks like. And we're wondering if maybe we should just call it a day and go back in. Sit by the warm fire. I'm on this camping trip apparently in my head. So here we have the Hanged Man, more of this hanged energy. I think in your mind, this is in your inner landscape. In your mind, you're wondering, like, did I build a good nest, or is this like just sort of the flow of life? Hanged Man, oh, I love the possum as a hanged man. Possum plays dead, right? It's just a brilliant animal for the Hanged Man. This animal that plays dead, super good. So something may look like it's never, ever, ever going to happen. It may look completely dead, completely gone, and you may be wondering, the Hanged Man, to me, the Hanged Man would be like, can I get out of this situation, or is this just the way it is? So, and this playing dead is just, it's brilliant, right? We have the sunshine here. It's a brilliant situation, but I think it has you really questioning everything. Like, I think the Hanged Man is questioning, did I build these webs in the right place? Are they good enough? Are they in the right place? Hanged Man suggests that there's something in the environment. There just aren't any bugs out right now. That's the only problem. That's the only reason why your nets aren't catching anything, is that there isn't anything to catch, or the fish aren't biting, not because you have like the wrong gear or the wrong bait, but because the fish don't bite right now, or they're doing something else right now. They're busy. So both of these, the Seven Pentacles and the Hanged Man, have a lot of waiting energy. The Hanged Man has this idea that there's not a lot you can do at this point, rather than just kind of think things through, rehash, double check your answers. Like, yeah, it's like a timed test, and the time's not up, but you're kind of done, but you still have to sit there with this test in front of you. So maybe just go check your answers. And you're wondering how much longer, I think. Yeah, well, there's a lot of faith, and now there's wavering faith, and now there's like, okay, I feel kind of stuck and trapped here. And I'm not quite sure if it's me that needs to do something, or if something needs to move in the environment, or what needs to happen here. But there are a lot of realizations that are coming here. I feel like no mud, no lotus. There's a lot of learning that's coming in this paused state. You're still right. The possum's mind is very much alive here. The rest of them's playing dead, but the mind is very much alive, learning, growing, paying close attention, I think, to the situation and everything around it. So then we have the Emperor reversed. So this is possibly my least favorite card to have reversed. The Emperor reversed is like a control freak, someone who's in charge and is not handling that power responsibly. This is either an absent boss. I can see this as being just a completely checked out, absent boss or one that's being, I don't know an absent boss who has, in a way, abandoned their work, or they're just not paying attention, especially with the Hanged Man here. But this could be someone who's very cruel, a person in power who's very cruel. This always looks to me like a little bit of a narcissist. Not to diagnose anyone, but this is someone that has a lot of power and wields it badly, or not at all. It could also be like a vacuum of leadership, which then just allows for the most power hungry to claw their way in and take control. Yeah, I would say that this one would be one that's like hunting for sport, not for food. It could actually represent overall like the power dynamics in our, in our societies, in our cities. This could be something like that. This can be a catalyst for your growth and your learning. I mean, that's the best use of being in the vicinity of an emperor. This could be like a landlord that keeps raising your rent rather than just making their coffee at home. They need more money just for fun. So this could be, someone in control who's either really bad at leadership, or really bad at leadership because they're incompetent, or really bad at leadership because their motives are selfish. And then we have in your environment, we have a Page of Wands. So this page, a court card in your environment, looks to me like a person. This is maybe a student, a watcher. We've got the moon in the same place as the Three of Wands. There's a someone inspired, wanting to learn. We have sort of this lotus idea too. We have like this swampland, this blackbird in a swampland with the where the lotus would be. So a hint at that, but there is a sense of watching and learning, observing. With Page of Wands, there's always a sense of surprise, unexpected, something unexpected. A lot of the pages have unexpected, but it's always unexpected when you're totally new at something and you're like, oh, this? But the wands, you know, having to do with creativity, creative work, possibly, spiritual work. This is a younger person, perhaps. A student. Someone who's just new at a passionate pursuit. Wow. I mean, nothing against sharks, but beware, there's a shark here. And then there's like a, something new, but there's really a watching energy here. Like I don't know. That's not really typically the idea of the Page of Wands, but there seems to be someone watching, peeking, spying. So Three of Wands, and then underneath it sits a Page of Wands. So there's someone here that's watching, maybe waiting. But it's interesting too, because this Three of Wands has the stick here, and here's the stick over here. So this is almost like the nest building. Maybe there's someone around you where this is their first time building a nest, or they're new to something. Students. All right, so your to-do list, 9 of Wands. We've got the coyote here too. This coyote, if they know what's good for them, is not going to hunt this porcupine. I was just reading about porcupines and how they can take down, like I guess it was an African porcupine. I don't know much about them, but they can take down like lions just because there's something that happens with the quills. So they are really, there's a lot of defending themselves. The 9 of Wands, good boundaries. Porcupine, the animal of good boundaries. And there might be like, yeah, 9 of Wands is typically like tired, exhausted, keep going. Okay, so the question posed here in 7 of Pentacles is this, do I keep going, or do I not, or do I quit? And this is like, keep going, protect your energy, protect your dream, protect yourself, keep going, keep moving forward. Again, we have, well, it is like Guardians of the Night. So the moon's in just about every single one of these cards. And we start off with the moon. So there could be Cancer energy in your life right now too, although the moon card is considered Pisces energy in the tarot, but in my mind it's Cancer because moon and Cancer. And then we have this coyote here that's tired and wounded, and we have the 9 of Wands, and this is like, just keep going, keep moving forward. Maybe slow and steady wins the race here. As far as like 9 of Wands always feels to me like there's something that should have been finished by now, but is still going on. And then look at, this is almost like this coyote with these cut down trees, right? We're about to build the whole little cityscape and man-made universe here. But this is like before this happens, before all these apartments come, we've had to cut some things down, or some things have gotten cut down. The whole life of the coyote has basically been in some ways removed, or so there's some sadness here. There's things that have been, there's grief, there's a lost way of life. there's like understanding, I think, that you can't go back to where things were before. And something feels like it just kind of cut down. So your to-do list is to keep going, even though there have been some massive changes to the landscape. This isn't what you expected. This isn't what you signed up for. Keep moving forward. It doesn't really say like how. It's like, just keep going. How do we keep going? But just staying the course, even though there's like a lot of exhaustion and tiredness, and you had a lot of faith at one point. Do not give up in perhaps this page. Don't give up in the page. If you have a student with you or a mentee with you or a child with you, do not give up on them. Or just like a new coworker that maybe is struggling a little bit. Yeah, this isn't quite what you signed up for. And that's the Nine of Wands. This is going on much longer than you thought it would. And you need to just keep going though. Just do not give up. This is the card of do not give up, even though it's hard. I like this card because it acknowledges that you're no longer having a good time with something that you started off with in full faith and excitement. No longer having a good time with this, but this is saying keep going anyway, right? And then we have no mud, no lotus. So growing out of that mud and the muck and sort of the difficulty that we have, that you seem to be surrounded by right now, has a point and has a usefulness. But right now you just need to kind of keep going. So then we have the Chariot. So again, talking about keep going. This could be, this is a lot of determination. Getting what you want. The Chariot usually has a coordination factor to it. There's a little bit of wind behind your back now at this point. There's a sense of victory and success and getting what you want and persistence. The Chariot, of course, also is like transportation. So cars, trips, all of that, transportation. This almost reminds me of like, this is are we there yet energy. This is are we there yet energy. And this is like, no, we're not there yet. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but we are going to get there at some point, and everyone's tired and grumpy. And then this is the trip, right? Or the journey and arriving, or at least going faster. This is sort of like, this can also remind me of like, you know, preparing for a trip and all the work that goes into it and how endless it always seems. So yeah, and this is all about like following your instincts and your intuition. The intuition that you had a long time ago, a while ago, and you've put a lot of work into this. Do not give up now. Yep, don't give up now. Stick with it. Keep learning, keep growing. Stick with something. I think there's a sense with the Chariot of something speeding up and moving forward. Victory, getting what you want, speeding up. Things coming together and coordinating together to move. All right, and then one last little prayer here. Child's play. I like this. Conscious play creates energy. It allows us to enjoy the discipline that helps us feel safe, productive, and that we are making progress on our path. It opens us up to life and increases our vitality and creativity. Without it, discipline and hard work can wear away at our life force. When balanced with loving, health, and healthy discipline, there is no need to fear it. It can only bring benefit. So this is sort of, these are the guardians and the parents here. Here's the child stepping out onto the path. Here's the grandparents that are caring for the child. They've provided, safety, housing, discipline, all of that, so that this child can step ahead onto their path in life with a sense of safety, a sense of protection, a sense of having what they need in order to move successfully through life. And I do like this sort of like ancestors guarding the path. So we do have like this nine of Nine of Wands here. For some reason, this is looking like staying the course, staying on your path. Chariot too. I'm seeing like a racetrack. Stay on the tracks. Keep going on the track, even though the race, you're thinking the race was over. You thought that one flag was that the race was over, and it is not. You have to keep going. But this Chariot does have like victory and success there. And there is a sense of like on the path. Stay on the path that you're on. You will see victory, and you are being guided and protected, and there is a sense of having what you need. I think this Page of Wands also reminds me of this. Look, we also have sort of a wand here that this child is holding on to. So being inspired here, the page does not have the wand. Here the page has the wand and is moving forward. So I think what we're seeing here with the Chariot after this Nine of Wands is stay the course. It will move forward. Yeah, this almost looks like a Wands card too. So a lot of Wands, a lot of like passion, creativity, perhaps even spirituality, but inspiration really. And that's what I see with this Page of Wands here. They haven't picked up the inspiration yet. Normally we see the Page of Wands in the desert with this like wand, like what is this? But in this one we're seeing that the page has yet to pick up the wand, and maybe someone's watching and waiting for this page to pick up, to get inspired, to feel inspired. And that could be a little bit of this student or mentee finally having what they need to pick up the wand and feel inspired with forward movement. The Chariot also has to do with cooperation and coordination. So, all right, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me with this general reading of what now, what's going on. All right, have a lovely time with your lives. Ciao.